New at 6, we are taking a look at the challenges facing the two largest police departments in southern Colorado. Policing looks a lot different than it did even 5 years ago. Some jurisdictions are below their ideal number of officers. Others are turning to technology to recruit and retain officers in new ways. News 5's Megan Cloherty is here with a snapshot of where police hiring stands in southern Colorado. Megan.
Diane, in the years since the Black Lives Matter and defund the police movements, police departments have found it more difficult to recruit officers into the profession and to keep those who may be lured by greener pastures. While the size, resources, and funding for Colorado Springs Police and Pueblo Police vary, there are similarities in how the two departments are taking on these challenges. At 819 sworn officers, Colorado Springs Police expects to achieve something few departments across the country have. It's on target to meet authorized strength next year, but already it's not enough.
So the 819 is our authorized strength, right? So right now, and we're hoping to increase that in January of 25. And I think we need to look when we forecast out for many, many years.
Now, Chief Adrian Vasquez says they're increasing that number to 839. Instead of having the total sworn officers determined by the population of the city they serve, Vasquez says he'd like to see it calculated by the number of calls for service that his department receives.
Colorado Springs is really wide open, right? You have to drive a great distance to get to a call for service sometimes. Where someplace like New York that has 33,000 or 35,000 cops, they have a police officer on every corner responding very quickly, right? So it's not a fair assessment.
CSPD got more than 267,000 calls for service last year. Vasquez says he's already reassessing how many more officers they'll need since calls for help are increasing as our community grows.
How many calls, how many officers do we need on the street that are going to impact that?
It's an ongoing question. Not every call for help is answered immediately. And in Pueblo, Chief Chris Noller says his 189 sworn officers are feeling the strain, working for a department authorized to employ 231 officers and handling 144,000 calls for service last year.
That's an immense workload. Before I came down and did this interview, I looked and we have 23 calls holding. With manpower the way it is, those calls wait until we have an officer who's available to go on those calls.
Fewer people want to be police officers than they used to, a fact that law enforcement agencies across the country are facing. As a strategy to avoid losing candidates during the waiting time between academy classes, CSPD and Pueblo PD have pivoted to holding smaller classes multiple times a year.
So July and then every 15 weeks since then, we've started a new academy and we've been able to maintain, and usually we start somewhere between 34 and 36 people.
Vasquez sees 5 retirements a month on average, and he's focusing on retention. In Pueblo, Noller says he needs more qualified cadets coming in.
I think the last group we hired, we had 4 out of that 74 that we could actually hire. Now, I could try to hire some of those others, but they're not going to perform the way we need them to. They have background issues, they have drug use issues, they have issues passing the psychological, and obviously I don't want to be in a position as the chief or a community member of this city where we're hiring officers that are going to cause problems.
To work in either department, applicants must be 21. They cannot be a felon or have been convicted of a misdemeanor crime of domestic violence or a misdemeanor that would conflict with the Colorado police officer standards and training.
We've really tried not to change the qualifications because we believe that having very qualified people really helps lessen the impact when it comes to officers doing things incorrectly, right?
To apply to be a CSPD officer, applicants must have a minimum of 60 hours college credit or an associate degree. In Pueblo, the minimum requirement for applicants is a high school diploma or a GED.
I think education is important, but I think it's also important in our community to give people that are born and raised here an opportunity to come work and serve the citizens of the city. And not everybody in Pueblo has an opportunity to go to college.
The departments are competitive in their starting salaries for police recruits who have graduated from a training academy. But Pueblo is having a harder time bringing in new talent. And Noller says that's due in part to Colorado law. Changes
the legislation, changes in what we're allowed to do as police officers as far as who we can put in jail, who we can't, how the laws are enforced. Changes in those criminal codes have made a lot of people opt out of the profession.
To offset some of patrol officers' work, Pueblo is considering investing in 3 drones next year to act as first responders and assess fender benders and small incidents.
CSPD is looking into technology that transcribes body camera footage to save officers time doing paperwork.
And one thing we've got to do as a country is decide what it is we want out of our police. And I think our job, like I said 3 times in this interview, is to improve the quality of life of the citizens of Pueblo for my community and to put bad guys in jail. That's my job. We need to do it with respect. We need to do it the right way, but that's what I get paid to do. And if we as a society decide that that's what we want our cops to do, and we're going to support our cops when they do it and not support the people that act out and don't do what the cops ask them to do, we're going to start attracting more people into this profession.
Learn more about the qualifications to be a police officer and what both chiefs consider their biggest challenge to their departments at KOAA.com. Megan Cloherty, News 5.